Hello everybody, welcome back to All DIY, No Skills. So today I'm going to show you how to replace a couple of light switches. One of them, this one, is actually a three-way switch. So typical light switch looks like this. You have your two screws over here where you attach wires. Green is for grounding, on off. A three-way light switch has an additional screw. This allows you, let me see the difference. This allows you to control a light from two different locations. So first thing you want to do is make sure your power's off. Go to your breakers, check everything, none of the lights are turning on. We're going to use a couple of simple tools. Flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. A pair of needle nose pliers comes in handy. Some wire strippers. An electrical tester, because even though you turned off the breaker, you still want to double check to make sure that none of the wires are hot. And maybe we'll need some electrical tape. So first thing we'll do is we'll take off the old plate. It's just simple, a couple of screws. Now when you're buying your electrical switches, there's usually two different types you could get that I've noticed. There's ones that have this, you can see this little shrouding over here, this little covering. These are actually nicer to get than the ones without because it leaves you with a cleaner look. You'll see when we put the plate back on. And this is just a little protector to make sure that this light switch doesn't get turned on or off. This actually controls the outside light. It's on a motion sensor, so we just want to keep that on all the time. There we go. So we'll save this little switch protector. Plate pops right off. Now we want to take our electrical tester, stick it in there, make sure none of the wires are hot. And I'll show you on it. I'll let you hear. That's on a hot outlet in here. So that outlet's hot. You can hear the tester going off. But all the wires that I have in here are dead. Let's start with the simple switches. So these two are the regular switches. This is the special three-way one. And all we're doing is just backing out the screw. You could do this with a electric or battery powered screwdriver to make things a little bit faster, but sometimes they're difficult to use with a flat screw. Got our two regular switches out, and it looks like the electrician's left us with a little bit of slack to play with. Just pull these out, make your life easier. Now, if you want to keep track, just to make sure you don't screw up, just compare your switches to the old switches. Have it on. We have our 2 wires, and all you're gonna do is put them back in the same spot. So in this case, let's clip this wire. Strip back a little bit. And we're going to take our needle nose and we're going to make a little hook. We're going to use that little hook in the wire that we just made to put it around the screw. It gives you a better connection. These outlets do have a little hole over here where you could just stick the wire in. It's like a quick connect, but you get a more secure connection if you go around the screw. So we just thread our wire over the screw. Could be a little bit tricky at times, but get it. Give it a little squeeze to make sure it's secure. And these newer switches also have the option for a Phillips head screw. So that makes life a little bit easier. They have, if you could see on the screw itself, you could fit either a Phillips head screwdriver or they still have the slot for the flat. So we'll just keep going to the next wire, and then just keeping everything intact just makes life a little bit easier. Put things back the way that they were. Again, we make a little hook. Get one of those pliers. Set that back on the next screw. You don't have to be a professional electrician to do this. You could do all this stuff by yourself as long as you remember turn the power off. Sometimes you have to fight with it a little bit. Eventually it goes back on. But why pay an electrician a bunch of money when these are $2 light switches that you could switch out yourself in a matter of a couple minutes? We'll just snip the ground wire also just to make it easier. Get rid of the old one. Same thing, little hook. Secure that in place. All right, that's our first one. We'll move it out of the way. Get our next one. Repeat the same process. Now you could, if you force these out, you could pull these out. Either way, you're going to want to strip a little bit of the insulation off. And you see why hooking them around the screw is more secure. I was able to pull the wire out of that quick connect pretty easily. Okay, Have our switch in the same orientation. Back around the screw. Tighten it up. There we go, that's one. There's some pliers. Could just yank that out. So that, while you're installing this back in, could loosen up. Could present a hazard. That's why it's better practice to put the wire, the little hook around the screw, and you screw it down. There we go. Close up that hook a little bit. Secure the screw. Finally, our ground. Go. Let's secure it lightly in place. Shove all the wires back in. Line up your screws with the existing box. And this is why it's nice having the newer light switches, because they have that Phillips head screw. Could just use a drill. Make sure it's secure. You don't want to go too crazy here, but okay, that's one. The other one in. All right, and before, we'll do the three-way switch in a different video. Before we put the plate on, we'll go test, make sure everything works, so bear with me. I'll just go turn on the power. And this one is actually for the garage, so let's see. Garage lights up. Yay, it works. We'll double check again with our tester. Let's see, now we're hot. It's off. When you switch it on, both terminals are hot. All right. We'll do the three-way in a separate video. We'll put the plate back on. Thanks again. Take care.